It is wonderful to see you all here. Thank you all for coming. This is a beautiful crowd, a beautiful experience, and I'm glad you're here to share it with us. So my name is David Fakunle. I'm a member of the steering committee for Light City Baltimore, and I was asked to kick this event off by expressing my thoughts about what Light City is and what it's all about. So for those that know me, particularly my mother, who knows me best, I will do this as only I know how, by telling a story. There was once an old woman, and every day she loved to walk in the forest. She loved to take in the beauty of nature, the sights, the sounds, the smells, the taste, the feel of nature. That was her refuge, that was her solace. And she did this every single day. It was her routine. And one day as she was walking through the forest, she saw this beautiful stone. She had never seen anything like it before. And she simply picked it up, put it in her pouch, and she kept walking through the forest. And as she was continuing her journey through the forest, she saw this young man, and he looked tired, he looked beaten, broken, hungry. And he crawled up to the old woman and he said, "Ma'am, do you have anything to eat, anything to drink?" But it wasn't long until his eyes saw that precious stone. And he was no longer hungry, he was no longer tired, he was no longer thirsty. And he asked the woman, "Ma'am, can I have that precious stone in your pouch?" And she simply took it out and gave it to the man. And he went one way and she went the other. And as the young man was walking through the forest, looking at the stone, thinking what he could do with it, what wonders it could bring him in his life, he stopped and he looked around and he looked at the stone. And suddenly he started walking back to that old woman. And he eventually caught up with her. And he said, "Ma'am, I would like to have whatever it is inside you that allowed you to give me this stone so freely." And I say that to say this, that there are so many people in Baltimore that have precious stones that are manifested in arts, culture, innovation. And the only thing that they're missing is opportunity. All they're missing is resources. And most of them don't even feel that their stones are truly precious because they've never felt it. But I will say that Light City is looking to change that. Is it a perfect solution? No, but it is a start, and it's a wonderful start. And Jamie can attest to this. My relationship with Light City started as a concerned citizen, a skeptical citizen, very, very skeptical, and she knows this. But rather than ignoring me, they welcomed me, and they allowed me to be part of the process. So, Jamie, I thank you for welcoming me to the process and allowing me to be a part of this, because people need to be recognized. If we want understanding in the city, it starts with acknowledgement. Acknowledgement of who people are, where they are, and the gifts that they all represent. We all have gifts. We all have precious stones, black stones, white stones, Latino stones, Asian stones, Native American stones. We all have stones that are precious to the city that can be part of the reform that builds this city. They all need to be acknowledged. They all need to be appreciated. They all need to be recognized. They all need to be supported. And that is what this festival, what I call eventually an institution, will do. Well, to let people know that you matter. You matter. Your gifts matter, your talents matter, your skills matter, your lives matter. Baltimore, we need you. We want you. Be a part of this. This is yours. So as I've told everybody through the process, that this is Baltimore's party, but everybody else is invited. So I thank you for your support. I thank you again, Jamie, for allowing me to be part of this beautiful process. And I know that lives will be changed. I know that lives will be changed, and it will be part of the reform that makes this city as wonderful as it should be. So at this time, I'd like to bring up the woman who took on my challenge, who allowed me to hold her accountable to make sure that this festival stood for something, that it stood for justice, that it stood for truth, that it stood for understanding and inclusion. And I've grown to like her very, very much. Ms. Jamie McDonald.
Well, clearly, David is one of our beautiful stones. And a little taller than me. Everybody hear me okay? So, it's so exciting to be here, I can't believe it. So David is one of hundreds of people that we've met this year as part of a long listening tour of Baltimore to discuss Light City. We've had 11 meetings around the city with neighborhood leaders and innovators and artists and entrepreneurs and corporate and foundation leaders and everyday folks. and they all came out on their own time to hear what we were thinking about in terms of Light City. In these meetings, we've been questioned, challenged, educated, and moved by citizens that have said over and over again that as a city we need to do two things. We clearly need to address the important challenges that our city faces, and there's so many people hard at work in Baltimore doing that. But the second thing that we've heard everywhere we've gone is that we need to shine a light on the good people of Baltimore who live, work, raise their children, dream, create, and innovate every day. That's our opportunity with Light City. One of the most poignant moments in our listening tour took place in a meeting in West Baltimore the week after the uprising. A soft-spoken, very small-statured woman came to a community meeting. We had no idea what to expect. We didn't know who was going to turn out, and we had a surprisingly large turnout, and we went around the room and we asked people to share why they were with us during a week that had been so challenging for our city. And she raised her hand and she said, I own a house on a block in West Baltimore, and I go to the dollar store 4 times a year to buy twinkle lights for my porch. I light my house with these beautiful lights because my neighborhood needs more beauty and needs more light. And I can't wait to see our city lit up by Light City. She, like the hundreds of community residents who have helped design this event, have done so because they believe in the power of festivals to unite people from different backgrounds and cultures, to serve as a public arena, a public stage where the average citizen and the Nobel laureate can meet and share space and expectations. With Light City, we're using the arts and innovation as platforms for bringing the city together, people from all walks of life to celebrate our city and engage in conversations that advance social change. But this didn't just happen like that. It all began in 2013 when Brooke Hall and Justin Allen, 2 young entrepreneurs, had a big idea for Baltimore. After seeing pictures of an Australian light festival on their social feeds, they were inspired to explore the idea of launching a large-scale light festival in Baltimore. And through their determination, Light City was born. For 2 years, they shared their vision of a city illuminated with light art, music, and the ideas of the brightest thinkers. It wasn't easy, but they shepherded this big idea forward and ultimately teamed up with Baltimore Office of Promotion in the Arts and Visit Baltimore to transform their vision into the reality that we're celebrating today. I also need to mention that we would not be where we are today without the leadership of our mayor, thank you so much, the support of so many in the business and philanthropic communities, and without the tireless commitment of the Light City Steering Committee. It's a committee that, as you could tell by many of the people that you'll meet here today who serve on it, that reflects the range of ages and backgrounds and interests of our city itself. I have the honor of chairing this committee with my husband, Tom, and these dedicated committee members have rolled up their sleeves, committing time and talent to bring Light City to life. Can I ask everybody on our steering committee to raise their hands or stand up for a minute, because I really want to acknowledge everybody's hard work. Thank you so much. Well, let's get to the fun stuff. So what can you expect on March 28th? Festival goers will be immersed in light, music, performances, and big thinking. Over 7 nights, we'll feature 29 spectacular light installations, including amazing works by Kelly Bell, Ian Brill, Luminous Intervention, Nisha Ramnath, and 25 other visual artists. Musical offerings will include the Concert Artists of Baltimore collaborating with Baltimore Rock Opera Society, Clear for Takeoff, the MC Booze Band, and a special concert by our very own Dan Deacon. We're excited to feature performances by Revolution Motion, Fluid Movement, Nina Rutledge, Single Carrot Theater, and many, many, many more, and many of you are in the audience today. Thank you so much, artists, for sort of joining with us to make this an amazing event for Baltimore. The works that you'll see during Light City were chosen by an independent jury from more than 240 submissions from around the world. I can tell you all as insiders that we were fingers crossed hoping for 100, and as those submissions rolled in, we were just blown away by the response. While Baltimore artists dominate the selections of the jury, We have significant national and international participation in Light City. 2/3 of the works are Baltimore area artists who will be installed alongside some of the world's foremost light artists on a light walk. The festival footprint will stretch 1.2 miles from the far side of the Science Center to Lancaster Street and Harbor East. There will be 100 performances and 50 concerts over the 7 days, and all of it is completely free and accessible to all. But that's not all. During the day, we'll host a 6-day innovation conference called Light City U. It'll be 6 days of thought-provoking conversations, hands-on experiences, experiential learning, and keynotes from leading thinkers. The theme of the conference is powering social change, and will focus on new ideas and technology that can help make us a more just and equitable society. We'll be sharing much more about Light City U in the days to come. Today we really want to focus on celebrating our artists. But I want to make one last important point before I introduce Calvin Butler. As a nonprofit festival, which is very different from many festivals that happen in cities around the country and around the world, we are your festival, and we can't do this without the support of generous corporate, philanthropic, foundation citizens, and everyday people who are committing their time, talent, and dollars to bring this to life. In particular, we could not have gotten off the ground without the generous support of Calvin Butler and BGE, who stepped up right from the beginning, saw the vision, and made a significant commitment that let us decide that we had the wherewithal to move forward. Calvin in particular is a visionary leader for our city. For those of you who know him, you know that he doesn't take on positions like this as a figurehead. He is in it with us every step of the way. He has committed himself to Light City with dedication and vision and lots of time. We really appreciate it, and we're so lucky to have him. I'd like to introduce Calvin Butler.
So good afternoon, everyone. You know, I don't know about you, but when you stepped in here, did you feel the energy in the room? And that energy just coming through. And for those of you who don't know Jamie well, but who will get to know her, it really wasn't an option to say no. So it was just a matter of how are we going to participate in this process. And I can honestly tell you, it has been a tremendous process and continues to be a great process for myself and my entire team at BGE. So when you think about it, Light City, almost 200 years ago, Baltimore lit the first gas street lamp, a stunning transformational achievement that reverberated throughout the world. Next year, my company, BGE, will mark that milestone along with you, many of you in this room, our customers. We look back with pride that over 2 centuries of putting great ideas to work to serve Baltimore and the surrounding communities. We also look forward to the future of continued ingenuity, progress, and invention within our company. We want and wanted to engage the broader community so they recognize that Baltimore has long been a city of innovation. And that is why I am here today. I am extremely honored to serve as the chair of Light City Festival, a festival of light and, yes, ideas. As the CEO of an electric and gas company, I thought lights and ideas, what an appropriate fit. But as we celebrate our 200 years, what an appropriate legacy. To make a difference and have an impact in our community, as David talked about, to redefine who we are and what we want to be for our future generations. At BGE, we want to be ahead of the curve on the latest innovations in technology. So we were very attracted to the concept of Light City. We are especially interested in how we prepare for the future so we can continue to meet the ever-changing needs of our customers. What is truly wonderful about Light City is that it brings together diverse people from across this great city. Just look around this room today. All the different characteristics, skill set that many of you bring in this room to celebrate an idea, a concept, and to have a celebration. The entrepreneurs, the thinkers, the business leaders, and artists who all have the same goal, to stay in a constant forward motion, building and improving on the foundation of a great city with a very strong past. And it's with that I want to introduce our next speaker, who has shown that she's willing to take challenges. She's willing to take on new ideas to move this city forward, despite what others say, because without leadership, without taking risks, you can never step out and move forward. With that, please join me in welcoming our Mayor, Stephanie Rawlings-Blake.
Calvin, thank you so much for the introduction. And Jamie, when you think about someone who is all in, he is wearing light switch cufflinks. I have seen it all. Only Calvin. Only Calvin. I want to thank you all for being here today. This is an exciting, exciting day for our city. When the Baltimore Office of Promotion and Arts and Jamie first came to me with this idea of having the city get behind this festival of light, music, and innovation, I felt like I had traveled back in time, in the sense that our city has had such unbelievable examples of civic leaders in partnership with corporate citizens and in the city coming together to do amazing things over Baltimore's history. And I said, I get to sit in this position as mayor and be a part of something amazing, something that I think will definitely continue to put Baltimore on the map in positive ways. So I was, Jamie, I jumped at the opportunity to partner and to add the city's support to Light City. And Madam Comptroller, I'm very, very pleased that you are here. As soon as I sat down, the Comptroller's face lit up. She said, this is the energy that we need, the excitement that we need in Baltimore City. So thank you very much for being here. And it's David, correct? Our artist here. You should not be, well, I appreciate your honesty about being skeptical, which is understandable, but you should not be surprised that Light City is welcoming to young talent, because I made it very clear that it wasn't going to be any other way. If the city was going to be supportive, Light City was going to be reflective of all of Baltimore. And many of you will see that in not just the downtown light displays, but in the neighborhoods that were selected to participate in Light City, and those neighborhoods were chosen very strategically. So thank you for representing our young artists and for stepping up. So when I think, as I mentioned, when I think about Light City, I thought about things like the Baltimore City Fair, and those of you who are from Baltimore remember that feeling. It started in 1971. I was one year old, so I know I didn't get a chance to go then, but I do have memories, on places that are now incredible high-rises. It was just, empty land, and we had great fun at the city fair. It was the thing to do. It was the thing that you look forward to at the end of the summer. You remember, Comptroller, coming down here, getting all the candy, riding on as many rides until your parents said your tickets ran out, and looking forward to doing it again the next year. And that is the type of feeling that I got when I heard about Light City. I know that it is another great event that will highlight our city and make sure that we are showing Baltimore the way that we know it. From a city divided to where disparate communities came together, but not only to share experience, but to begin to embrace each other. We saw it happen at the city fair. I know that we will see it happen at Light City. From the moment that I heard about the concept, I could hear the passion from everyone involved. I knew that it had the potential to be something great. So in 2016, Light City will feature something for everyone. It will showcase communities that are unfamiliar to many but important to all. In the first year, the Inner Harbor will be the central location for the light art walk. But in every neighborhood, there are creators and makers in Baltimore. To get this effort started, we've created a pilot program, Neighborhood Lights, in which 5 Baltimore communities will collaborate with artists in residence to create public light projects. I'm so geeked about that. The selected neighborhoods, and if you're in the house, let me hear you. The selected neighborhoods are Coldstream, Homestead, Montebello, and are you in here? And I can't wait, because I said if we could just do something and use that community and partner with Morgan and use Lake Montebello, can you imagine what that could look like? I'm very excited. Now, there might be a few people that say I have a little bit of bias because of my choice in restaurants mostly, but is there anyone here from Hamden that's representing Hamden? In the house, there we go. Now, it's not because I think they're going to light my target up, but is there anyone here from the Greater Mondawmin area? Greater Mondawmin, anybody representing? Yes, in the back, I see you. The other 2 neighborhoods are Little Italy, that I think is, listen, it's having you here is like having 20, so thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. And you know, we could not have anything to showcase Baltimore without having Little Italy be a beacon of light, so I'm very excited about that. And last but certainly not least, I was excited to be able to extend the offer to the Station North Arts and Entertainment District that has been a wonderful example of artists leading the way. And Baltimore is known around the world, around the globe for our artists, for our, our underground music, our underground arts, our just creative class. I think sometimes we sell ourselves short, but other people see it. We are a city of incredible innovators, risk-taking entrepreneurs, talented museums, great museums, talented musicians. Our city is filled with brilliant people living and working creatively every single day, and Light City is our chance to celebrate. Remind ourselves and remind the world that Baltimore is diverse, it's culturally diverse, it's creatively diverse, it's home to numerous different types of people with far-reaching talents. And I want to congratulate each one of the artists and performers selected through the competitive call of entry, and welcome the selected artists from other countries around the world who will join us in 2016. One of the exceptional aspects of Light City is how we will aim to spotlight our homegrown talent, not only through artwork and performances, but through the Tracks of Light at Light City U Innovation Conference as well. With the Inner Harbor area as the center of the festival, Light City will be accessible to residents and to visitors. And I'd like to thank our founding sponsors who understood the vision of Light City and have given generously to support this event. Like our leadership sponsor, Calvin Butler and BGE. I don't know of a better way to have an anniversary party than with Light City. So you got this party on the cheap, Calvin. I want to thank Kaiser Permanente. Anybody from Kaiser Permanente here? The Maryland Department of Commerce. Whiting Turner. And Brown Advisory. And I want to thank the volunteer committees and the committee members for their time, because there's a lot of vision, but if you don't have the elbow grease to make it happen, it's just a pretty presentation. So I want to thank the Baltimore Office of Promotion and the Arts, Visit Baltimore, and What Works Studio for doing the legwork, the hard work, and rolling up your sleeves and getting the job done to make this happen. Light City Baltimore is about the more in Baltimore. Diversity beyond gender, color, and religion, diversity of interests and accomplishments. It is a tapestry of more that will propel our city forward and bring us together. The planning continues, and I encourage everyone to visit lightcity.org as more information and updates become available, and make your plans to attend Light City Baltimore from March 28th, right after my birthday. See, I'm getting a birthday party, you're getting an anniversary party. March 28th through April 3rd, 2016. Thank you so very much. And now it is my pleasure to introduce someone who understands how important it is to give people a reason to come to Baltimore, someone who is getting their brochure, their Visit Baltimore 2016 brochure on the cheap with Light City Festival, Tom Noonan.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. As the head of Visit Baltimore and one of the steering committee members, I couldn't be more excited to talk about the debut of Light City Baltimore in March of 2016. You know, we're always trying to find events that can fit inside of our shoulder season from November to April, right, to fill our slow period. You know, in years past, we've had the ice skating rink, we've had the German Christmas Village, and that's been great for the holidays. But what was missing was something that could bridge the holidays to around that April 1st, the start of our tourism season, and Light City is going to provide that wow moment. It's going to serve as the kickoff every year to our tourism season annually. And it's going to provide, you know, multiple opportunities of engagement for our restaurant, our museums, our attractions, our retail, our attraction communities, to all provide additional programming during the day. So yes, we're going to have the Light City U programming, but we're hoping all of our museums and attractions, etc., will also provide their own content in their museums during the day to make the daytimes even better before we light the nights, right? So that's really important to be working with all of those different entities. We know that events can have the transformative power to change a city's brand. When people think of Baltimore, we want them to think Light City. 10 years from now, we want that to be almost interchangeable. Light City, Baltimore, Baltimore, Light City. We want that interchangeable. We've seen civic events like Celebration, Star Spangled Spectacular, as well as annual events like the African American Festival, Artscape, the Book Festival. We've proven ourselves to be great hosts for major events, large-scale events that are great for not only for our locals but tourists as well. Festivals and events are great motivators for travel. In fact, they're so successful because they exist just for an infinite period of time, and it draws people in. Last year, in 2014, 30% of our travelers came to Baltimore for events, for cultural events, for festivals, etc. So it's a big part of what we're doing every year. These events are not only great PR for our city, but they also serve as a great real economic impact for Baltimore. You need to remember that tourism is Baltimore's fourth largest industry. We have over 82,000 people that are working in hospitality and tourism, so it's important that community is successful and that we grow that community. Visit Baltimore is excited to partner with our partners, POPA, that we do all the time, What Works Studio. Visit Baltimore is in the sales business. You know, we're trying to bring events to the city all the time, and we're always twisting arms to bring people here. Well, let me tell you, Jamie McDonald is really one of the best arm twisters you've ever been around. So, I mean, I've learned a few things over the last year working with Jamie in terms of how to twist some arms, and she's one of the other people that's been a big part of our success, including the entire steering committee. And we're excited about kicking the marketing campaign for this program out in January. So the campaign is going to be focused mainly on our Philadelphia, DC, New York, our major drive markets. It'll be print, it'll be digital as well. We're also planning a station domination event in Philly's 30th Street Station and Union Station in DC. We're going to take over those stations. When you get off the train, you're going to see nothing but Light City. And we're hoping those neighbors from the south and from the north will come visit us. I feel strongly that Light City Baltimore will help reinvigorate our tourism industry. That's why we jumped on early. And it's the perfect kickstart of our tourism season. So with that, I'm going to turn over to Roz Healy, Deputy Director of BOPA, to talk more about Light City. Roz?
Thank you, Tom. For more than 30 years, the Baltimore Office of Promotion and the Arts, a nonprofit organization, has been producing many of the major free events taking place in Baltimore, whether as the sole producer or as an advisor and partner. In our role as the city's Arts Council, BOPA works to incorporate literary, performing, and visual arts into as many events as possible. Light City Baltimore is a joint effort of community members, artists, visionaries, city agencies, businesses, BOPA staff, and volunteers of all ages. As Jamie mentioned, we have really worked with our Community Engagement Committee to create an exciting, inclusive festival. An important youth program of the festival is Light City Teen Scholars, in partnership with Kaiser Permanente. This leadership program for Baltimore City high school sophomores and juniors will help participating students develop critical thinking and job skills through workshops and seminars. They will be our next generation of innovators. In addition, there will be a youth track as part of the innovation program. The PNC Transformative Art Prize this year will focus on light, neighborhood lights, as the mayor spoke of, and of course, the festival is entirely free for all. Today, we explained what Light City is, but we thought you might like to get a visual preview. So let's take a look at the video produced by Human Being Productions that highlights just a few of the artists and innovators who will be participating in Light City.
My name is Wordsmith.
Chris Mandel.
David Falcone.
Recall, Only Butterfly Woods.
The Chun Croy's collaborative team.
Kyle Miller. Jim Schofield. I'm a Baltimore artist.
Curator, hip-hop artist, doctoral student, architect.
We are Light City.
Light City.
We are Light City.
So Light City is a festival of light, music, and innovation. Artists applied to receive a grant to produce work for Light City. And so Light City is fully funding the projects, whether they're sort of an art installation that has to do with light, a performance, or a musical act.
Light City is giving us an opportunity to come up with a large project, which we've done before for other artists. This is the first time we have an opportunity to do this as our own creation. It's a steel peacock. The feathers are hydraulically controlled.
About 20 feet tall by 40 feet wide. I have a very energetic set. I use theatrics in my set as well, so to get my hands on a visual artist, I think it's just going to really blow people's mind.
Klezma is a psychedelic electroacoustic world dance music group.
It's called Diamonds Light Baltimore, and it includes 15 large diamond sculptures along the water.
So at night, it's going to be this spectacular experience where you're going to see large-scale projection mapping, you are going to see awesome sculptures lit up and dancers lit up all around the Inner Harbor. There's going to be free live music performances everywhere. During the day, there's going to be a 6-day innovation conference that's going to be focused on how we can become a more equitable society.
That it was a community meeting, and I finally got my time at the mic. And I said, if this is just going to be a festival where people come into Baltimore and don't do anything constructive, don't do anything to help the city, keep your festival. I don't want it in my city. They agreed, and they asked me if I would be a part of the steering committee for the festival.
I'm a writer, a dancer, a lover. Their favorite nightmare crouched right here. Wasn't given a second look because I wasn't doing nothing but scribbling in a flower print notebook, thought I was bluffing. It is us who's showing the world versus the world coming with a script to see what's here, and they already know what they want to see and they already know what they want to say.
I hope this festival creates greater inclusion, greater understanding of just this city and what talent and what just amazing abilities lie just a couple miles away for some people.
These are people from the city doing things in the city, being given the opportunity to do things in the city in a way that haven't really been done before.
Things are going to get huge out here in Baltimore come Light City.
Pretty exciting stuff. We continue to plan Light City. Please be on the lookout for more schedules and information in the upcoming months. You can also go to lightcity.org for information. We now would like to invite you to stay and join us for a bite to eat. And as you do so, please take a look at the list of the many people that are making Light City possible that will scroll behind me. Thank you, Madam Mayor and distinguished speakers, and thank you, Image Engineering, for all your help today. Thank you very much.